Right, let's get going and do some outdoor yoga because it's a little bit windy out here today. You might feel a bit cold, so let's get going with some. You can do this sitting down or standing up. But I'm going to do standing up because I feel like energetic and stuff like that. We're going to do what's it called? We're going to do what is it called? We're gonna do the a breath that makes us feel like we're kind of like getting warm here. So you can either sit down for this, or you can do this in horse stance. Oh, it's cold at the bottom. It'll come to me in a second. Like, okay, here we go. So you're gonna put our hands onto our hips, onto the top of the thighs here, coming into a horse stance. The lower you get here, the harder it is. You can sit down if you want. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna breathe, take a big breath in, and then breathe everything out. Pull the belly in, then relax the belly, take a breath in, and then we're going to go. We're pulling the belly in to exhale, letting the belly relax to inhale. You can do it better. You can access it better. Two things at once. Yeah, I know. It's like standing in horse stance and doing doing something. I know. So this is how it works. And it does work better when you're sitting down in some ways because you can relax the belly more and you relax the whole lower body. So here's the thing we're going to do. Relax the belly. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Half a breath in. Then squeeze the belly. And then when you feel like, ooh, I'm starting to get warm, take a breath. I'm going to do 10 more. Let's do 10. So I'm going to relax the belly, take a breath in, half a breath out, then squeeze the belly. Everybody connected to their bellies as if it's a tricky one. It's a really Agnisara. That's the word I've been looking for. Agnisara, fire breath. Apparently, Tibetan monks like sit out in the snow and just like melt the snow with it. I don't know. I've never got that warm from it. I know. Let's do a couple more. Here's the thing to do as well: is to relax the belly, come into a little bit of a back bend, either standing or you can bring the hands behind you if you're sitting down. That helps to relax the belly a little bit more, gets a little bit of stretch in there. So when you come back forward into your horse stance or your seated position here, breath in, squeeze the belly, relax the belly, let the breath come in. Squeeze the belly in, relax the belly, let the breath come in. Squeeze the belly, relax the belly. Do 7 more. I think I did 9. Warming up? Feels like it's warming up? I don't know. I feel like I'm warming up. Okay, we've stood up for a little bit. Let's come back to seated. We're a bit warmer. In a position where I can see both see the legs of my tripod. Let's go with this one. Let's go with this one. One leg straight, one heel going, if that feels good. Nice thing about being on sand is you can always kind of like dig your heel in a little bit and kind of like get this into a nice position. Inhale, make it the left leg if you got a left leg straight, or swap my arm positions out. By the way, inhale, lift the arms up. Left hand comes down onto the leg or the forearm. Right arm comes up and over. Imagine that you're reaching for your toe if it was like longer. Nice thing about this is you can use this hand on the leg or if you've got it on the floor as sort of a way of determining how deep into the side bend you're going to go. Another thing to watch out for here, don't come up off onto one sit bone. Second arm position, chest opener. I'm going to bring the arm to about 45 degrees. A little bit of a modification for chest opener today. Make a fist. Breathe into your fist. Lengthen the arm out and then bring the arm back. Making a fist doesn't feel very yoga, but the head relax to the left, let the jaw relax, let the face relax. Third arm position, neck release, bring the arm down, 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 down. As always, to come out of this, left hand on the left hand side of the head, lift the head up. Your head a bit of a shake. Let's come into a seated side bend here. So if you've got the one leg straight game going on, bring that leg to the middle and then bring the other knee up. If you're sitting cross-legged, then still keep on sitting cross-legged. Inhale, lift the arms up. Right, your left hand goes onto the right knee. Right hand goes behind, turning to the right. Here you can feel for digging your heel in the sand a little bit, maybe even pressing it down. Outdoors, feel that. Tapping into whatever energy you want to tap into. I'll come back to the middle, give your legs a bit of a shake. The other way around. Tell me it might start raining. That's kind of weird. Right leg straight. Heel to the groin. Done outdoor yoga in the rain before. Inhale, arms come up. Right hand down on the right leg. Left arm comes up and over. Trick is for doing yoga in the rain. Don't be lying on your back when it actually rains because you feel like you're filling up with water. Inhale, lift the front of the chest up. Exhale, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Second arm position, chest opener. You make that fist again if that felt good. Make a fist, big breath into your fist. Lengthen the arm out, and on the exhale, bring it back. The reason I like doing this fist is because I feel it stabilizes the elbow and stabilizes the shoulder a bit more. So that when you actually take this arm back, rather than it being the shoulder joint that goes back, it's more of the shoulder blade that's going back. Third arm position, neck release, hand comes down, 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 down. Pick the hand up off the floor, underneath the head, head comes up to the middle. Seated twist, so that straight leg comes to the middle, that knee comes up to the top. Inhale, your arms reach up. Right hand onto left knee, left hand goes behind, turning to the left. Inhale, come back to the middle. Give your legs a bit of a shake. Let's do a very quick hip release sequence here. So this one we can do in Baddha Konasana. Can you see my feet? Oh, there we go. Very quick Baddha Konasana. If it doesn't feel comfortable, you can just push your feet a little bit further forward. You might not be able to press the balls of your feet together. Doesn't matter. Take your left hand, put it on the inside of your left thigh. So somewhere in the middle here. The other hand goes by your hip on the other side. What you're going to do with your left hand is slowly and gently apply pressure there. So you're pushing the thigh bone down towards the ground a little bit. Few things here. Start off slow with the pressure, so we're not going straight into like full-on pressure. The next thing is, if hypermobile people, if they feel like that thigh goes full to the floor, you can be pushing your leg into that hand a bit as well. So you're strengthening those muscles and tendons, not just lengthening them. The rest of us who are not getting our thigh onto the floor, our knees onto the floor, collagen typical people, we're going to take a breath in. And what we're going to do when we take that breath in is we're going to press the hand into the thigh, thigh into the hand. So we're feeling the muscles starting to engage, engaging those muscles. And then on an exhale, release the pressure on the leg and just let your weight of your hand push the leg down. Let's do that one more time. Take a breath in. Press the hand into the thigh, thigh into the hand. You'll feel lots of muscles starting to switch on in your leg here, in your inner thigh and in the hip area here. And then on an exhale, relax the muscles in the leg. Let the thigh go down towards the floor a little bit. Slowly release pressure on the leg here. See people do that fast in training and their legs went like catapults. So like that doesn't seem very good. I'm gonna do the other side now. So right hand on the right side, same thing, but be aware here that the amount of pressure you can put on each thigh varies. So this just illustrates the kind of like the amount of pressure that you feel you could do on the other side here. Experiment with it quite slowly. Again, if you're hypermobile, very gentle press into the hand into the thigh, thigh into the hand the whole time. The rest of us will do that twice once we've kind of loosened the tendons a little bit. So take a big breath in, press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale, let the leg relax. Maybe it goes a little bit closer towards the floor, maybe it doesn't. Be a lot of reasons why the thighs, the hips won't loosen for some people. Another breath in. Press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale. Maybe let the hip go a little bit further. Slowly release the pressure. Come back up. Yeah. Use your hands to bring the legs together and give them a little bit of a shake. Don't know why I'm doing that. It's not going to help. Let's roll the legs a little bit. So rolling the knees in and out. That gets into the thigh, into the hip socket here, whereas otherwise it doesn't. And we're going to play that with Pigeon 1990, which is a version of Pigeon that is kind of more accessible than Pigeon. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our heels onto the floor. You might need your arms behind you for this one. If your heels about hip distance apart, they are going to move. And then we're going to slowly swing the knees from side to side. I didn't do it slowly there, but going slowly from side to side. Noticing as you're swinging your leg from side to side, where are the kind of tight spots? There will be tight spots. And then what we're going to do is we're going to swing the legs all the way to the right as far as they'll go. Maybe bringing the side of one thigh down. So your foot and your knee are roughly together. Doesn't matter if they're not, because all our kind of like hip structures are kind of different. The other thing that we're going to try and do is get our sit bones down on the floor. They may not come down. I mean, here. My sit bones aren't touching here. Let's put it that way. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. There will be issues of tightness. For some people, it will be this leg here that is externally rotated. For some people, it will be this leg that's internally rotated. And we're going to sit here, bring the arms up in front. That shifts our weight about, shifts our point of balance a little bit. Then we're going to stay here for a few breaths. This is a really good exercise because it puts your hips into ranges of motion that you don't normally go into when we're like day-to-day stuff. Then let the arms come down. Next trick we're going to do, you may have already done this trick with me. You kind of already know what's coming. We're going to come up from this position. Lots of different ways. Easiest way, bring your hands in front and come up. This. Try and open the hip out completely when you come up. Like so that you're actually fully up, engaging the quads. And then we're going to come back down. Now you might not need to use your hands. Boom. Back down. Let me go back so people can see me on Zoom. Up and down. Up and down. Now imagine if I said, let's do Agni Sara while we're doing like something else to do. Little tricks here as well is to see where you can press into the floor. If you press into the floor with this side of this leg here and this leg down here, it is easier to bring yourself up. And then slowly bring yourself down because you're about 20% stronger on the eccentric than you are on the eccentric. The eccentric being the going down part. You're about 20% stronger, so you can work those muscles. We've worked them enough. Come back to the middle. Slowly rock them from side to side. Oh. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the knees to the other side. You might notice here that it's very different. You notice with me, I'm leaning way over here because this hip here does not like being in this position. It actually it doesn't like it. But I'm going to stay here for a few breaths, bring the arms out in front. And I'm trying to get this sit bone here down on the floor. Not in some kind of like cruel way, but I'm just aware of shifting my weight into that sit bone that's up. Got me thinking about where you could do Agni Saras in different. Let the arms come down. This is where we're going to kind of do that thing of coming up again. Maybe you want to use your hands to come up. First go, it's quite good. When you're coming up again, this idea of opening the hip house, squeezing the butt, so we're coming into this upright position. Then slowly coming back down. Then coming up. And slowly coming back down. Remember, you can slow down the descent. We're a little bit stronger on that. Let's do 2 more. Come down, straighten your legs. Give them a bit of a roll. Just look at my mat and going, do I really want to lie down on my mat? But I'm going to have to lie down on my mat. It's a pointless task at this point. What I do suggest, though, is figure out which way the wind is blowing. It's blowing from that direction, so I'm going to have my head in that direction. Because that actually means less sand on me. Sand's better than ants, though, like I had a few weeks ago. Right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a version of pigeon on the back. Few different variations of this. So we're going to first start off, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Simplest variation here. A little modification that you can do here is that you can use your muscles in that right leg to drive the knee down towards the floor, so you're externally rotating that thigh a little bit. You'll feel a little bit of a twist in the hips. Again, only work within an area that feels like it's comfortable for you and you're not like creating too much havoc. Step 2 of this is that you can lift your left foot up off the floor and catch hold of your right thigh with your hands, or maybe catch hold of your leggings. Again, don't do that if it feels like gnarly somewhere in the low back or something. Stage 3, you can straighten out that left leg as much as possible. Straighten out the left leg as much as feels good. And then bring your foot to the floor, uncross your legs. A little bit of windscreen wiper, getting into the side body a little bit. Pigeon on the back, the other side. So left ankle over right thigh. Maybe using the muscles in the leg there to rotate that left thigh down towards the floor a little bit. That feels good. Some people might even feel like they don't even know what muscles are doing that. So, you might need to experiment. It's quite a funny move that we don't normally do. You can lift the right foot off the floor. Catch hold of the right thigh. You can also straighten out that right leg. And then bring everything to the floor. Okay, hips from side to side. Dragonfly twist. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Find your sole of your left foot. You're going to swing that over to the right. Boom. Coming down to the floor. Your left shoulder blade might be up here, or you might be able to scrunch your way down. Scrunch is a technical term. Scrunch your way down so that you're actually kind of on the floor. Feel for sending breath into that left-hand side of the body. See if you can inflate everything on that left side from your hip to your armpit. Come out of this and cross that left leg, bring that leg to the middle, bring the other leg to the middle. Let's do that on the other side. Cross the right ankle. Oh, the left thigh. Right sole of the foot goes over to the left. Boom. Unhook that leg, bring that leg to the middle, bring the other leg to the middle. Give yourself a little bit of a rock from side to side. We're going to do a few rounds of abs. We're not going to kind of do too many today, but they'll kind of warm the core up a little bit for what we do in a minute. So, first one, feet on the floor. We're going to do knee raises. So, starting off, feet on the floor. Take a big breath in. Hold the breath. Press your low back down. Exhale. Left knee comes up towards the chest, pulling that belly down. Inhale, slowly bring that leg down. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, send the heel a little bit further away from your body than you normally would. Big breath in, hold breaths, press low back down. Exhale, right knee comes up towards the chest, pulling that belly down. Inhale, slowly bring the foot to the floor. Hold the breath, press low back down. Exhale, left knee comes up towards the chest, pulling that belly down. Try and keep everything else that isn't involved in this, pulling this leg up, as relaxed as possible. Inhale, foot comes to the floor. Hold the breath, press low back down. Exhale, right knee comes up, pulling that belly down. Inhale, foot to the floor. Exhale everything out, take a couple of resting breaths. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to add a little bit. We're going to press the hand into the thigh. First round we're going to press the hand of the same side that it's the knee that's up, just to kind of orientate yourself with this one. So, big breath in. Hold breath, press low back down. Exhale, left knee comes up towards the chest, pulling that belly down. Big breath in, leave the knee where it is. Press hand to thigh, thigh to hand. Exhale, pull that belly down. Inhale, foot to the floor. Hold the breath, press low back down. Exhale, right knee comes up towards the chest, pulling that belly down. Big breath in, knee stays where it is. Press hand to thigh, thigh to hand. Exhale, pull that belly down. Big breath in, foot to the floor. Hold the breath. Press low back down. Exhale. Left knee comes up towards the chest, pulling that belly down, moving it slow and smooth and powerfully. Knee stays where it is. Another breath in. Press left hand into left thigh. Press hand to thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale, pull that belly down. Inhale, foot to the floor. Hold breath. Press low back down. Exhale, right knee comes up, pulling that belly down. Really drive that knee up. Knee stays where it is. Breath in. Right hand onto right thigh. Press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale, pull that belly down. Inhale, foot to the floor. Take a couple of resting breaths here, maybe rocking the knees from side to side before we move on. And do the other side. The difference on this other side that we're going to do is we're going to be crossing the hands over. So it's going to be right hand on left thigh, left hand on right thigh, just to help you orientate yourself with them. So let's do it. Big breath in. Hold the breath. Press low back down. Exhale, left knee comes up towards the chest, pulling it slowly but powerfully up. Knee stays where it is. Big breath in. Press right hand into left thigh. Press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale, pulling that belly down. Big breath in. A foot to the floor. Hold breath. Press low back down. Exhale, right knee comes up. Pulling that knee up, pulling that belly down. Big breath in. Knee stays where it is. Press left hand into right thigh. Press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale, pulling that belly down. Inhale, foot to the floor. Hold breath. Press low back down again. Exhale, left knee comes up, pulling that belly down. Knee stays where it is. Right hand onto left thigh. Big breath in. Press hand into thigh, thigh into hand. Exhale, pull that belly down. One more. Foot them down. Hold breath. Press low back down again. Exhale, right knee comes up, pulling that belly down. Knee stays where it is. Breath in. Left hand onto right thigh. Press hand into thigh. Thigh into hand. Exhale, pulling that belly down. Inhale, bring the foot to the floor. And take some more resting breaths. Focus on sending breath into the belly area, but also onto those side areas of the belly. There's kind of like important spots to send breath into. It can be quite interesting to make the belly lift as much as possible, but you can actually make the belly go out the sides as well a little bit. Roll onto your favorite side. And let's stand up. Come into a warrior one, the front of the mat. On sand, maybe not go as far back. This sand feels like ball bearings under my feet. So we're going to go a little bit back into a warrior one here. Bend that front leg, left leg goes back. Bend that front leg. Bring the hands onto the hips. Big breath in. Make that length between the bottom of your ribs and the top of your hips as big as possible. Exhale, pull the belly in and feel a little bit of a contraction at the front here. Lift the chest up towards the sky. Bring your shoulder blades around the back. Bring your elbows around the back. Squeeze the elbows. Take a few breaths in here in this sturdy position. Strong legs, strong hips, strong core. And then when you're ready, your arms can come up. I'm wondering if I'm fitting on the screen here. I am. Weird pose. Don't know if we've done this before. I'm going to turn the forwards. This is called butterfly arms. You know, we got butterfly legs, but we've got butterfly arms too. What's going to happen with this? We're going to interlace the fingers, bring the hands on the back of the head. Inhale, and elbows come forward. Exhale, draw the elbows back. Inhale, arms, head, elbows come forward. Exhale, elbows go back. Let's do that a few times here. Feeling for getting an opening in the chest muscles here, not driving it into the shoulders. And one thing you can do here as well is feel for the shoulder blades wrapping around the rib cage as you come forwards, and as you come back, you're squeezing the middle of your shoulder blades. Go over the arms. Do a modified version of Humble Warrior here, because Humble Warrior is usually kind of like a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to clasp the hands behind the back. Take a breath in, lift the chest up, and then on an exhale, I'm lifting my hands off my hips. That's all I'm going to be doing here. Lifting the hands up off the hips. Now, some people are going to be able to go really far with this. Some people are going to be like, they won't be able to lift their hands up. That's okay. Feel for maybe just pulsing that movement or imagining that they're coming up, and eventually they move. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the front of the chest up a little bit. Let go of the arms, floppify the arms a little bit. Come into a lunge position. Hands come down, back knee comes down. 3 points of contact. Front foot, back knee, back foot. Back foot could be flat on the floor like that, or you could be on the toes. I think which one feels better. Stabilize this position before you do anything. Feel for tightening the hips up, squeezing the knees together a little bit. Once you're solid, arms can come up. And if it feels a little bit like wobbly, that's fine too. Little twist that you can add to this, you can focus on your back leg here and press with either the top of the foot or the toes down into the floor a little bit. This will work this muscle here on the front of your thigh a little bit. Easy twisting lunge. So this time, left hand comes down on the floor, right hand either up into the sky or on your hip, or you can even put it onto that right knee if that felt good. Come back up into that lunge position. See if you can use your core to come up. Kind of tricky, that one. Nomad's pose. The right leg that's bent, you're going to bring the heel of the foot down on the floor like this. It's going to change your balance. If the balance is being compromised as much as mine was there, this might be what you want to concentrate on. This might be enough balance. It might be enough of a stretch and a balance. If you want to take this further, hands can come down onto the thigh. Trying to keep this leg straight. If you're hypermobile, I want you to focus on keeping a micro bend in there and pressing the heel down. Maybe bringing the hands onto the shin or even onto the floor. You can use blocks. You can be on your fingertips. Find wherever it is that you feel is feeling tight in that leg and send breath into that area. Another thing that I find useful that we don't do as a rule in yoga, but nothing stops us from doing this, is to be very slowly bending and flexing that leg. So you're very slowly bending the knee, straightening the leg, bending the knee, straightening the leg, bending the knee, straightening the leg. It can be quite useful if there's a spot in there that feels quite tight. Inhale and come up. Ooh. Come back into a lunge. Easy twisting lunge. Why is it so easy? You're going to bring your left hand onto your right knee. Turn to the right And your left hand is like a pointer that you're sweeping behind you. It doesn't have to be up level, be down towards the floor. You can also have it on your hip if it feels better that way. It doesn't have to be up. Inhale, come back to the front. Something we don't usually do here. How do you come up from a lunge back into a warrior one? Well, different ways. One way is that you can bring your hands down on the floor and come back up. But then the easier way is to bring your hands onto your thigh here, curl your back toes under, and lift up. You're back into the warrior one position. And the arms can come up to finish off. So it's like a sun salutation where we've not put our face in the sand. Really don't. And step to the front of the mat. Feel how your body feels different from one side to the other, because there's a lot to be gained from that feeling of how does it feel different. And we're going to do the other side. So right leg goes back. Short stance warrior one if you're outdoors. Hands on the hips. Lengthen through the core area. Feel for engaging the core, maybe pulling in the front just a little bit, and then the arms can come up. Butterfly arms. So clasp your hands together, bring them underneath the back of your head. People of Aberffraw are going to be wondering what we're doing here. Inhale, elbows come forward. Exhale, bring the elbows down. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, send them back. Feel free, maybe being the shoulder blade motion where you wrapping the shoulder blades on the side of the rib cage, squeezing the middle of the shoulder blades together. Modified nomad's pose. So, hands behind you. Clasp your hands together. Big breath in, lift the chest up, and then on an exhale, lift your hands away from your hips. Again, if they don't want to lift, maybe they'll bounce. Maybe you can think that they're lifting. Lunge. Hands on the floor, back knee comes down. 3 points of contact. Stabilize you for 3 points of contact before bringing the arms up. Easy twisting lunge. Right hand down on the floor, left hand up into the sky. Very slowly, very carefully, come out of this position, up, back into that lunge position, using your core, using your obliques for this easy twisting lunge. So right hand comes down on the outside of the right knee, left knee, and then you're turning to the left. Left arm comes out to the side. Or you can have that on the hip too. Inhale, come back to the middle. Last thing that we did here was this getting up from this kneeling position into a warrior position. Easiest way, tuck the back toes on, curl back toes under, hands onto this thigh. Up you come, back into that warrior one position. Nice strong position. And then step to the front. And take some breaths. balancing. Wouldn't be kind of outdoor yoga without some element of balance in it. You probably know Warrior 1, Warrior 2. We're going to play with Warrior 3. Warrior 3 is kind of like a Warrior 1, but a little bit different. So, stand in front of the mat. Left leg goes back here. Then what we do is kind of like dependent on how we feel. Maybe it's just coming up onto the back toes of the toes of the back leg. So you're just staying in this position. Using your arms for balance. I've seen people bring the arms out to the side like airplanes for this one. It's easier to keep them closer to the core. If you want to take this further, what you do is you tip your chest forward and lift that back leg up at the same time. So keeping the angle between your torso and that back leg about the same. When you're ready to come out of this, I'm going to kind of explain this kind of quick. Then what you do is you slowly come up, lower the leg, lift the torso up, and come back to a standing. So it's like a one-legged deadlift. It's hard as hell. Let's do the other side. So, standing back at the front of the mat. Right leg goes back this time. Again, you might just be lifting those toes up. You feel your butt muscle switch on when you lift those toes up. Maybe sending your weight a little bit forward. Let that back leg come up. Using your arms like airplane wings. Balance yourself out. Ooh, it's really hard on this. And then when you're ready to come up, torso and leg. Those are really good. Oh. That works the glute muscles. It's quite a heavy body weight one. Even better when you're outdoors because you've got like a lot more instability in here. Let's do some hip circles. Slowly going from one side. And then coming to a slow stop. Going the other direction. And let's slowly now unwind or wind down. We're going to start off by coming into a kneeling position. If kneeling doesn't work for you, you can sit on a cushion, or you can come straight into a cross-legged position or some kind of seated position. What's nice about kneeling is it's a way of getting into these muscles at the front. Goes up, put a block under your butt. Tuck your back toes under. We're going to do some bird wing arms here. Inhale, hands come together. Exhale, hands move away from one another. Sometimes this, taking the legs out of something, makes the rest of the pose a bit easier. Because we do this sometimes in like Warrior 2s, Warrior 1s, and like you're focusing on your leg. Now you can just focus on this rotation, this outer rotation of the upper arm bone. Maybe a little bit of a squeeze together of the shoulder blades. Inhale, hands come together. Exhale, hands move away from one another. Let the arms come down. Do another something else in this position. Eagle arms. Again, eagle arms is one of those things we usually kind of do in lots of different positions, but you can do this like this. Elbows up in front, cross your right over your left. Turn your hands together if they're gonna. And then lift your elbows up just a little bit. Maybe letting your head come down into your arms. Feel it driving the elbows forward, lifting them up a little bit, and relaxing the head if at all possible. I mean, a little bit tight on the back of the neck, sometimes relax the head. Unfurl your arms, give them a little bit of a shake. The other side, up in front, left over right this time. Are they going to join? Maybe. Not for me, they're not. Lift the elbows up, shoot the elbows forwards. Unfurl your arms. Let's come into a seated position. One last seated pose, which will be, let's do a seated twist. That's kind of a nice way to wind down. So bring the right hand onto your left knee. The left hand turns to the side. Make this one a bit of a gentle one, but lift your chest up as you're doing it. So it's less of a twist and more about getting your spine straight. Feel for sending breath all the way down into the tips of your toes. And that breath goes out all the way out. Inhaling, filling the body up. Exhaling out as much as is comfortable. Come to the middle really slowly. Maybe changing the cross of your legs if you want. Go the other way. Left hand on right knee. Right hand goes behind. Turning to the right, but lifting the chest up. You can almost imagine that, you know, when we were in the Pigeon 1990, we were trying to get up out of that position. Push your chest up. So a similar position. It's going to work similar muscles. Back to the middle, back release pose. This is a lying down pose. Feet on the floor, knees up towards the sky. Then you're going to take your hands and put them so the heels of your hands are close to your hips, fingers pointing towards your knees. Take a big breath in here, and then holding that breath, I want you to wiggle your hips so that you're pressing your low back down into the mat and lifting the curve up, pressing it down, lifting it up. And maybe start to breathe as you're doing that. Everybody's breath pattern is going to be different. We're all going to fall into different breath patterns as we're doing this. Pressing your hands into your thighs so you're lengthening your low back and then wiggling your hips. So it's almost like, I've heard it described as like belly dancing. So people think of it as like a modification of cat exercise one we do. So wiggling your hips with that lengthening of the low back going on. And if you find a spot that feels like, oh yeah, that feels really good, stay there for a couple of breaths. You don't have to actually, you can stop for a few breaths. And then maybe start the wiggling again. And then slowly take the pressure off. And this is when you get to choose Shavasana. Less options when you're outdoors. You can't like put your legs up on the wall and all that kind of stuff. But if you have a blanket, it's a time to kind of really be getting that blanket out. If you're indoors, do whatever feels good. A few minutes of Shavasana to take us from that from yoga world into whatever the old new world has in store for us. Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Trying to spread your awareness out. Making that journey back into the ordinary world. Maybe slowly moving your fingertips and your toes, your hands and your feet, arms and legs. And very slowly, sort of maybe rolling onto a side or pulling on your front, whatever feels good. Making your way into a seated position. There we go. We survived. Yoga's in summer. Yay. Oh, it's not too bad.